Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic. Is it overkill if the Ravens get DeAndre Hopkins? Look, this is where I'm at with this, and I want people to kind of understand where I'm coming from. The Baltimore Ravens are historically known as a defensive-led team. We've never been, the hunters. We're notoriously known as the underdogs, the feel-good story, the Hoosiers, as some might call it, okay? Now, there's a problem with that, right? Especially in today's NFL, because you have to have offensive weapons to truly compete with the best of the best. Doing it the other way, it's too many variables. You have to be perfect every single game of every single playoff game all the way to the Super Bowl. And then the other team has to also have a subpar game for you to win, doing it the old school way for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, fast forward to today. We have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to get our hands on one of the best offensive weapons in the league. And all I hear from so many Raven fans is that, hey, we have enough. It's overkill. There's only one football. It's not enough to go around. You know what this does? Cream rises to the top. The best of the best will play. And God forbid that there is something that sets back somebody, let's say an injury or anything else. We're so deep that it wouldn't derail the entire season like it did last year. So that's where my mindset is. We have too much. Listen, I have a question. Is anybody on this team better than DeAndre Hopkins right now? No, none of them are. So all he would do is move people down the depth chart. Now, if everyone's like, well, I want Zay Flowers to get the ball, and I want the other guys to get the ball, the best will get the ball. 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers out there. They'll get the ball. They'll have their opportunities. But to scoff at the idea, to add a player that not only makes us deeper, he brings insurance to our wide receiving room, and he brings another star talent on the outside, not to mention getting him, takes him away from other teams willing to restructure contracts to obtain him. Let me tell you this right now. For all the we're not scared and we don't care. Listen, this is called chess. You can continue to play checkers if you want to. But for people like, like Skeptical, Ing, and other people like that, me, we like to play chess. And those NFL teams are playing chess also. So you're telling me you're okay for him to end up on Miami? You're okay with him ending up on Kansas City? You're okay with him ending up on Buffalo? You're okay with him maybe ending up, God forbid, on the Bengals? Everyone's telling me, no, that can't happen. If it happened, you'd be like, oh my God, this is so much overkill. They don't even need him. That's what you would say. I'm not willing to see if somebody's desperate enough for a Super Bowl to give their quarterback every opportunity to be successful. I don't need that, because the NFL has already shown that there's always 1 or 2 or even sometimes 3 teams that will change the game. They don't care what everybody else is doing. They will do something different to give them an opportunity to win, i.e. Deshaun Watson's contract. And think about it. All the billionaires are a posse. They roll together. They take yacht trips to islands that still have dinosaurs on them. Where do you think Jurassic Park was filmed? From the islands that these billionaires ingratiate themselves and visit ever so often. So that's why I need your minds to be. This is not just about overkill. This is about taking him off the board from other teams. And I said this on the previous video, but I wanted to reiterate it because listen, I'm on Twitter a lot because that's my everyone has a main social media that they're on. Twitter is my base of operations. You understand where I'm coming from? That's my base. Some people's Instagram, some people's Facebook. Mine is Twitter. And all I see on Twitter is like, the Ravens don't need it. They're good enough in that department. There's too many mouths to feed. Are they going to try to throw for 7,000 yards? I have a question with you right now. If you look at the Ravens receiving core, as is, what do you rate them? Are they even top 10 in the league right now? And I need you guys to be honest. Is the Ravens receiving core better than Debo and Ayuk? Is it better than Miami's Tyreek and Waddle? Is it better than DJ Moore and Claypool? Is it better than what they have on the Bengals? Like, these teams have so much talent riddled on their offensive units. DeAndre Hopkins would make our offensive wide receiving room literally top 5. And I saw somebody say that. Shout out to Lexi, because she's in one of my Twitter groups. And Lexi said, like, look, this is making up for all the mid-wide receiver rooms that Lamar has had to work with. For once, just give him everything he's asking for and let him go out there and work. Let him go out there and work. Everyone's like, oh, he has enough. I have a question. Would you say that if it was Joe Burrow? Would you say that if it was Pat Mahomes? Would you say that if it was Josh Allen? Would you say that if it was Aaron Rodgers? Would you say that if it was Tom Brady? Tom Brady left the New England Patriots because they would not give him talent on the receiving. Now, look, the Ravens have done an amazing job this offseason acquiring talent on the outsides. I'm not saying they haven't, but this guy, him or Mike Evans, either which one of them takes us to an entirely different level. You understand? Like, I always tell people, you can always get better. And on the defensive end, we love getting better. Look how many safeties they had last year because they were like, oh, we can get better. And no one complained. You know why? They're like, hey, you know what I mean? Those guys are going to be so versatile and there's so much talent. You don't just walk away from talent. You're going to walk away from DeAndre Hopkins? You're going to walk away from DeAndre Hopkins? And you know OBJ has been putting in a good word for this team. Your quarterback has already said he wanted OBJ and DeAndre Hopkins. And now he's opening out like, nah, we good. We don't need nobody else. So I have a question. Worst case scenario. What if OBJ does get hurt again? What level is our wide receiving core then? What if Bateman can't, regain or stay on the field? What's our wide receiving core then? And I don't want to hear anybody tell me that's improbable, Nitro, because I'm going by what history has stated. Look, I love OBJ. I think he's amazing. I love Bateman. I think Bateman's a true number one receiver in this league. But when you have the opportunity to get a Hall of Fame level player, you get off your high horse and you go get them and let the pieces fall where they fall. Do you think right now if Derrick Henry said, oh my God, I want to play for the Ravens so bad just because we got Gus and JK, I'm telling you, nah, we good over here. Are you serious right now? He's a Hall of Fame level player. You got to get out of your way. For once, let's just flourish, win this Super Bowl, keep it moving. They can even give him a 2-year contract, backloaded. So next year they have to pay more because, OBJ is a 1-year deal. They can do it that way. I'm telling you, man, look, I need Raven fans to understand that you want to give your quarterback no excuses. None. None. And getting him DeAndre Hopkins with OBJ, and you already have Bateman, and now you have Zay Flowers. How many people do you really think is going to make the wide receiving room this year? Seriously. 5? Carrying 5 wide receivers? So your starting 5 would be Hopkins, OBJ, Bateman, Flowers, and Aguilar. That'd be your 5. All the other ones, you might keep 1 or 2 on the practice squad. But all the other ones, seriously, they're backup or special team players. Special team players. All I'm saying is that to be the best sometimes, you have to crack a couple eggs. I think EDC is going to try and get him, and hopefully he does. And hopefully we win this thing easily. Hopefully we coast. Dude, I don't want this to be difficult. Why? Why? If it doesn't have to be, why? Because of the storylines? Come on, man. This is not overkill. Getting him is doing your due diligence. And that's all I got to say on it. That's in the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Look, for everybody watching, you know how we get down. Fun and laughs, but everything we speak on this thing is rooted in fact and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Love the comments. Just be respectful, please, and we have no problems. And if you would like to donate to this channel to help it grow monetarily, at the bottom of the screen is a QR code, and it takes you to a Cash App. That's where all the donations go. Okay, it helps buy new cameras, better equipment, and stuff like that. And you can also find that in every description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Also available as the Patreon. Please go out there and become a patron. So much access to additional content and access to me, access to sweepstakes, access to fantasy football. Go out there and support and become a fledged member of Team Wunderkind. But once again, this is the Wunderkind Show. The show's not just signing off, and as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Hopefully, DeAndre Hopkins is here. Yerp.